KCOY 12 is committed to be a part of the ongoing efforts to find solutions to the violence in Santa Maria. Melissa and I hosted a panel discussion with 3 people invested in the success of young people earlier this month. And after we brought you that story, Lori Holbrook, the director of Los Prietos Boys Camp, invited us up to the campus in the Los Padres National Forest to see how juvenile offenders are being shown a better way of life. Tonight, we take a rare look inside the camp to see how these teens are being rehabilitated. We learned more about the growing problem of a synthetic marijuana called spice and how the recent violence in Santa Maria has led to a change in the way camp operates. Santa Barbara County juvenile delinquents are sent to the Los Prietos Boys Camp to exercise their bodies, clear their minds, and be given the knowledge and opportunity to find a more productive path in life.
We really try and help them see a big picture of life.
Senior Deputy Probation Officer James Clark has worked at Los Prietos for 34 years.
I tell them, take a vacation from your gang affiliations, take a vacation from, violence in the community, from drugs and alcohol.
If it's a vacation, it's a working vacation. The boys go to school 5 days a week.
Ordinary classroom.
3 full-time teachers get the teenagers caught up on 7th to 12th grade credit. They learn the basics of construction.
The boys actually built this shelter. They built a shed over there.
They maintain the 17-acre grounds and get vocational training. Julie Garcia works with them in the kitchen where all the camp meals are prepared.
I love it. I just like it's working, teaching them to go into the workforce.
All of the boys, up to 50 at the camp at any one time, have been convicted of crimes, some of them felonies. Camp Director Lori Holbrook says more and more of them are involved with drugs at an early age.
They're not just smoking marijuana, they are using methamphetamine, they're using spice, and they're using it every day in large quantities.
Young teenagers.
Young teenagers, young kids, 13-year-old, 14-year-old. So we've had kids who've gone out, or they've been here the first time, bright, articulate, eager, and then they come back a second time and they have used so much spice that it's brain damage. We can barely communicate with them.
So bring awareness through the crown of your head and then up.
The camp started a yoga program this year, in large part to give the boys an added coping mechanism for mental health issues like anxiety, depression, and PTSD.
When you see somebody get hurt, you see a friend who you grew up with get stabbed or shot, that's traumatic. When you see a family member get hurt by another family member, that's traumatic.
And if you're willing, just let it go.
Returning the boys to that type of environment can be tough. Campers can earn short home visits with good behavior unless home is Santa Maria. Home visits there were stopped at the end of 2015.
We have let kids go home, and then there's violence on the streets, and it makes us very nervous and worried because we realize that the lure of the gang is very strong and it's very tempting for these guys.
Holbrook says 65 to 70% of the teens do not reoffend after finishing the program, which is typically 6 months, sometimes longer for those who don't follow the rules.
And when you learn integrity, which is what we try and teach them, is doing the right thing when nobody's looking, that's when you're ready to go home.
Well, the camp is not for everyone, Melissa. They are picky about who comes in, but those who do are exposed to things they may not otherwise experience, like trips to museums, ball games, and the beach. Holbrook tells me the annual operating budget of Los Prietos is $2.1 million, but with a long life ahead of them, she says these young men are worth the investment.
And Lori also shared with us during our roundtable, and that was an excellent piece, Scott, that the community has actually given scholarships to some of these young men. They go on to college and go on to better their lives. So it's really a phenomenal camp.
Yeah, Rotary clubs will donate money to them so they can experience different things in the business community. The Office of Education just gave them a grant to improve their kitchen facility of $73,000. That was just announced yesterday.
Wow.
So a lot of people are invested in the success of these young people. As they say, they're going to be around another 70 years, and they want them to contribute to society in a positive way.
They do. We had a lot more to talk about this. We could go on and on online. We have a longer discussion between me and Scott, so check it out on KCOY.com. Great story, though.
Thank you.